Every now and then we come across a property steeped in Australian tradition. Coromandel is one of the very few. From its sandstone structures originally built in 1899 to its 105 acres of paddocks and manicured gardens, this offering is truly special.
Ebenezer is a lovely area, 10 minutes outside of Windsor, which is about an hour from Sydney. It's actually 69 kilometres to Sydney from this property. The airport's an easy hour's drive with the new M2 and M7. Windsor's a country town right on the Hawkesbury. It has a lot of restaurants, cafes, a lot of historic buildings. It's a great tourist destination. Coromandel is one of the landmark properties in the area, being on 105 acres and a historic sandstone residence. Very nice gardens, only a few minutes from the river, and 5 minutes from Wilberforce, which is a little neighbourhood shopping centre. When you enter the property, you notice the sandstone gates and the lovely driveway up to the property, and then you come through the cut rocks and the gardens open up, and then you come past the rose hedges and you see this beautiful sandstone property. Coromandel itself was built in 1899, one of the first sandstone residences in the area by the early settlers out of rock probably hewn off the property itself. This structure behind me was the first structure built on the property. It was the original kitchen for the residents, and then there's the main residence just immediately behind this one, and then there's the barn, and the barn has its own guest accommodation. The main bedroom is a great loft-style bedroom with views out over the property. It has a walk-in robe and an ensuite. There are 3 other sizable bedrooms at the other end of the residence. There's a great country kitchen with wooden cupboards and loads of bench tops. There's quality gas-electric oven and a huge fireplace which really complements the kitchen. Off the kitchen there's a lovely formal dining area which has its own fireplace as well. There's actually 6 fireplaces within the residence, and that's just a fabulous room for entertaining. There's a number of formal living areas within the house. There's a very large formal lounge which has its own fireplace, and that opens out onto a lovely sun area which overlooks the pool area and the gardens. There's a huge barn down the back which upstairs has its own living area, has its guest accommodation, very sizable, fabulous for parties actually. The pool area has its own enclosed area with cabana and shade trees. It's just a lovely spot for entertaining and relaxing. And the cabana, which is actually like a bandstand, is just a nice feature for the property, set in the gardens very nicely. As a matter of fact, this property would lend itself to a first-class reception centre, which is badly needed in the area. One of my favourite things about this place are the gardens. The lovely hedges, the rose hedges, the fountain statue. It's just a fabulous property set off by the bandstand, and just all the meticulous gardens that the owners developed over the years. When you're in these grounds, you almost feel like you're in the botanical gardens. The property's surrounded by the nice big wide verandas, typical of the colonial style homes. When you consider what you get, like 105 acres is one of the largest properties in the area, and it does have subdivision potential, maybe cut off 2 40-acre lots subject to council approval. Those sort of lots are selling around the $1 million mark in the area. When you consider all the infrastructure, the large sandstone residence, which you can't rebuild really and have the heritage quaintness to it, the pool, the huge barn with guest accommodation, not to mention these gardens which you can't grow overnight. When you consider all you get, the $3.25 million price tag is fantastic for the lifestyle and the location, only 1 hour out of Australia's largest city.